Misfits, we're here to check out this cool looking game, Levithan Wilds. It's coming to Kickstarter next week. We got Beth here to tell us all about it.
Yeah, so this is Levithan Wilds. This is from Moon Crab Games. They are a new game studio. Their staff is made up of ex-Fantasy Flight Games and Z-Man Games folks, so they know a thing or two about games.
I would say so.
And they've branched out to make their own studio, and this is going to be their first title. As mentioned, it will launch on Kickstarter July 12th. So let me tell you a little bit about it. This is a cooperative game where you are climbing colossal creatures and trying to save them from some crystals that have made them go mad and rampage around your world. So right now we just have a little demo scenario set up here. This is the Sentinel. And up here at the top we have two characters. We have Hazard and Kestrel. And in the final product they'll have nice sculpted meeple. This is just our little prototype. But what you do is you're trying to strike off the crystals, which are represented by these dice. And you'll see they have numbers on them. There's a 4, 5, 3, and 6. Now what you do is you strike them the number of times that the die says. Once they are removed, they go off. Then if you've cleared all of them, you've won the scenario. Now, how does that actually work, you ask? Each turn you will reveal threat, which is this little deck over here. Each Leviathan has their own deck of cards. They're not super thrilled you are climbing all over them. They don't understand you're trying to help. So they're gonna lash out at you. So what happens is at the beginning of a turn, you put out a card. You see what it says. This particular one is Twisted Lash. Now this one has a little targeting there. So if Hazard is going first, this little targeting thing goes around Hazard so that you know that this red marker is that red marker there. That's the center point of the grid. Now you're able to see what's happening. Leviathans are big and slow, so you have a little time to try to avoid the attack. So during your turn, you can try to move out of the range of the attack so that when it actually fires, you might not get hit. So on your actual turn, you'll activate your climber. You have a hand of 3 cards. These cards are multi-use cards. You can either use the top half or the bottom half. So the first thing that you would do is decide you want to use one for action points. That would be the number that's actually in the top corner. So let's say maybe I take Razor's Edge. I decide that this should be my action points. You just slide it right there so you know you're just using the top half. Then you have 5 points to spend that turn. Action points can be put into these different actions, as many as you are able to spend. So 1 action point to climb. Climbing is moving orthogonally, so that would be 1, that would be 2, or you can go over, but each action point can move you 1 space. Then you have jumping. Jumping is 3 AP, and jumping is if you want to cross over something. So like right here, this Leviathan has a little bit of a gap between his arm and his chest. So if you were down here, you could jump and leap across to be over there. Just costs a little bit more action points, a little bit more effort to jump. You can glide, which is a diagonal movement. Same thing, 1 action point per 1 movement. You can rest, and if you're resting, you have to be on one of these little white ledge spaces. There's a few on the map. And when you are resting, you spend 2 action points, and you're able to reset your hand of cards. Anything in your discard, you shuffle it up and put it back there so you'll have more cards to choose from. Mending will affect your health track, so the little red cube here is health. As things attack you, you will tick down on health. You can spend as much AP as you want to tick back up. And then striking, which is the main thing you'll want to be focused on to actually win the game, is when you will strike the crystals. You're trying to knock them off. So if you want to strike these, you don't have to strike them all at once to get rid of them. You could say, I'm just going to hit it for 1. That ticks a 4 down to a 3. But you also can spend all the AP you want to go ahead and say, I'm going to knock that out of here, 4 points, we're done. But you spend those points however you want. You can also play these skills at any point during the turn. So sometimes those things can combo together to help you do different things. So for example, let's say Hazard is playing here, 5 points, great. This was at a 4. And let's say maybe we go ahead and spend 4 AP, we strike that 4 times, it goes off the board. Right now Hazard is still in range of the attack, still have 1 AP left. Maybe we decide to climb over 1 space, and then that's still in range of the targeting that little white space there. So instead, I think I will also play Scramble. So this little ability enables me to hop to another white space, which means I could hop up to there, and that seems like that's out of range, so that gets discarded. So at the end, we resolve the threat. I managed to get out of the way, no problem. That goes there. Then you draw back up to a hand of 3, so this is discarded. And you get new cards, in this instance, 2 new ones because we played 2. Then it goes to the next player, and you keep going back and forth, working together until you're able to knock the crystals off. The other thing you have to consider is some crystals are blue. That means that they are blighted. They're kind of extra crazy, and it means that when you're in that space and you decide to strike it, that energy is going to arc back and hit you, and then you will take blight damage on your track. If these cubes ever meet, they end up in the same space, you're knocked out, and you're out of the scenario.
Wow, sounds
yeah.
fun. And how many players can play it?
It is going to be 1 to 4. So there are 4 dedicated characters in it, but there will be an included solo mode.
Awesome. And where can people find out more about it?
So LevithanWilds.com is the website. There is an available mod on Tabletop Simulator. You can actually play 5 different Leviathans. And we do have them in this little book. I'll flip through them. So this was the Sentinel. The Sage is a horizontal map. So you would actually be starting at the bottom and climbing across in different ways. Little less places to fall, but a good big space to cover as you're climbing around. The Sentinel was our little demo. We have the Storm. So this one will arc with different lightning attacks and hit different columns that you have to avoid. We have the Avalanche. And this one has a lot of gaps, so you're climbing all over, lots of jumping, lots of things to avoid. And then the 5th one they have right now is the Watcher. And this one, this space here, there is actually a card that you would put out, and the eye is either open or closed as you flip the card, and different things happen whether it's open or closed. So in total, the game is planned to have 20 Leviathans in a spiral-bound book, so that you can just put it out, flip it open, and play nice and approachable. There will be a light campaign, but you don't have to do that. It's just a narrative you can follow. But you can also choose to just flip open the book and play. There's also a bit of light character customization with the cards. Everyone will be able to choose a character and then a class and kind of smash those things together to have a deck of 10 cards that you'll be able to use in the game.
Sounds fun. I can't wait to check it out, and it's going to be on Kickstarter starting on
July 12th.
Perfect. Check out Leviathan Wilds, people.